Yeah, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Alright, so as always, before we get into it, hit the like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the community. My name's Han. Yeah, so this video, it's about why you should hire a window cleaning company to take care of your windows, right? And who's hiring a window cleaning company. So for the most part, the people that are hiring a window cleaning company have a couple things, right? They might be on the older side, that they can't do it no more. A lot of my customers are widows and or divorced, elderly women, because their husbands used to do it, or whatever the case may be, or they just don't have their husband anymore for whatever reason, or they got big old houses that they don't want to deal with it, and or finally they just have a little bit of money. They got money is not an issue for them, or they have disposable income that they can pay for services like this, because at the end of the day, window cleaning, for the most part, is a luxury service, right? The lower than middle class isn't typically the one paying for this. People who, don't have that kind of money aren't paying for this. I myself think that it is a luxury, right? And so that's kind of the demographic, right? A little bit of money, bigger homes, because again, the average person, the average one-story home is doable to most people, money or not. But some people value their time more than being out there doing it. So that's kind of the demographic. It's typically women, at least in my experience and in my analytics. They're most of the time they're professional women, like they have a career. Like the last woman home that I cleaned, she was a lawyer, and she just doesn't have the time for that. They're already paying for some kind of service like landscaping, housekeeping, stuff like that. So they are already, like, most of the, like, again, this is just based on my experience and my research, right? Most of the time when I'm cleaning these higher end homes, I'm in there with, they typically book me when they're getting all their work done. So sometimes they'll book me when, like, I'll be there and the housekeeper will be there and the landscaper will be there and the pool guy will be there, and I just chat them up and make some connections. So that's the demographic. And now to why you should hire a window cleaning company. One, I feel it saves you time, right? Most people, their days off, are quite valuable to them. And, they rather spend that time with their family or doing something they actually want to do, opposed to doing chores like yard work or cleaning windows, cleaning gutters, stuff like that. So people will hire me because they value their time over the money that they're going to spend. And they, like I said, they'd rather be with their kids. Like for me, right, I pay people to do stuff like when I don't want to deal with it, or I rather be at home with my family, right? So like yard work, I have someone do that for me because I don't want to do it. So I have a garden, and so they'll do that, because what's going to take me an hour can potentially take you 2 or 3 hours. right? And on top of that, typically the money you're gonna spend is gonna be, you might as well just hire somebody, right? It's like, if I'm gonna go change, let's say I want to change the brakes on my car, right? I can do it, but I don't have a jack stand, I don't have a jack, I don't have, the tool, so I gotta go to Harbor Freight and pay like 100 some odd bucks for all the tools. Then I gotta go to AutoZone. I gotta get all the brakes, which is another $200-300 brakes and stuff, right? For all that, I could have just taken my car to the dealership or wherever, dropped it off, got something else done some other stuff. They called me, hey, your car's done. Cool. And I could have just, they think like this. Like, can I do it? Sure. But do I want to? No. Or do I have the stuff to do it? No. The next reason is safety. So unless you're doing a one-story home, you're going to be fine. But where it gets tricky is when you have a two-story home or a three-story home, and you have to go get a ladder. Do you have a ladder? No. You got to go buy a ladder now. It's $200 to go buy that ladder, right? It's $200 to go buy that ladder. And then, again, like I said, you still have to buy all the stuff you need to buy for the window. And then you might not even buy a bucket on the belt. You might just buy the squeegees and the scrubbers and the bucket. And, without the bucket on the belt, it's kind of annoying to where to put your tools. You might not know where to buy a bucket on the belt. You might not know where to buy all these tools, right? So, again, that's a cost thing, because again, that's like at least ladder and everything. It's at least $300, where you could have hired someone for $250 to get the job done, and now you got to store all this crap. And then again, back to safety. Now, like if you're doing with a two-story home, you got to deal with a ladder. You got to deal with the ladder. You got to potentially get up on the roof. You got to, work on the ladder. And if you've never worked on a ladder, it could be quite scary, and it could be quite difficult, because that's a lot of, like, you might think it's just, you just climb the ladder and that's it. No, you're balancing yourself. You're holding onto the edge of the ladder. You're balancing. You're using your legs a lot. You're reaching and you're pulling. And for me, like, I honestly hate when I have to deal with a ladder, because it's so tiring. So yeah, so then, like I said, there's the safety aspect of it, and a lot of people just don't want to get on ladders. And the last thing is peace of mind. It kind of just ties in to everything that we're talking about, peace of mind, right? So with when you hire someone to come do the job, you know the job. Well, you don't know, but you hope that you hired a good company, and they're gonna do the job right. And so you're gonna have peace of mind, at least for the most part. They're gonna do the job right. They're gonna come out and do the job, and it's just one less thing to worry about, right? And it's typically a once a year, 2 times a year type thing. So I don't think, depending on how big your house is, but the average price is about $250, $300. You can swing that once a year to get your windows done, especially if you have a really nice home, and you got some nice views, you got really big windows. Just maintenance in general. Window cleaning is good. Maintenance for your windows, it's one of those things you don't think about, but it it does help the longevity, because I've seen some windows where they just have years of caked on dirt and hard water stains. Like, the glass is beyond repair now. It needs to be restored or replaced. How often are you checking those seals? How often are you checking the tracks? How often are you, checking the integrity of the glass? When you hire a window cleaner, for the most part, at least if you hire us, we do an inspection of all your windows and stuff like that, and we'll let you know if there's something, going on. Because you'd be surprised how many times I'm doing my inspection and I find a broken window, and I tell the homeowner, they're like, "What? That window's broken? I didn't even know." Like, it could be like an out-of-the-way window, it could be an upstairs window, and they're like, "Oh, thank you for letting me know," and then I'll refer them to a glass replacement company or something, and we'll take them from there. And so as I'm saying, it's a pretty good thing to hire out. At least for me, if I really needed that job done, I'll most likely just, if I wasn't in the industry, I would just hire it out. Because again, I don't want to deal with, like, my days off are valuable to me, so I would just prefer to hire it out, along with everything else that I hire it out, right? In the day, people need jobs, so I will gladly keep them employed, right? Like, I have a gardener, I have a mechanic, I have, that's pretty much it, that I hire on a consistent basis. Can I do these things? Yeah. But just like anybody else in the world, can they do it? Yes. Do they want to do it? Probably not. That's why there's fast food restaurants. That's why there's restaurants in general. Can anybody cook? Yes. Do they want to? No. Right? Just like for me, like sometimes, every now and again, I get private chef gigs, and they're fun, and it's just crazy that somebody just spent $2,000 to have me come out and cook for them and their family for the night. Like, it's crazy, So I'm saying there's a demand for it. You just gotta find it. You just gotta find the right demographic for it, and just go from there. But at the end of the day, you just never know where the next job is gonna be. So yeah. All right. Well, that was pretty much why you should hire a window cleaning company, and the reasons for why you should hire a window cleaning company. All right. Till next one. Peace.